Again, we're live. Well, hello, Crime Stoppers. Let's get this show on the road right off the bat. Oops, I thought I had these windows open. As we speak, it is Sunday. Theta is at 991. I'm expecting a pullback. We'll see if I'm correct. T Fuel's at 34. And for the week, it's down like 6%. Meantime, Theta is just going gangbusters. Loving this. Let's see here. In the last hour, it's up 1%. In the last 24 hours, it's up 16%. In the last week, it's up 44%. In the last month, it's up 177%. In the last year, it's up 13,566.4%. I'd say, so like a year ago, yeah, you have 13,566% more money than you did before. That's how much you're up. Yeah, see, pick a winner. That's even better than my my best OTC stock doesn't do that. So I've been up since early this morning, playing with. Oops, now I can't find where I am. There I am. All right. I've been up since I don't know, early, and these are the notes on the Kabbalion. I'll put this up here. But the Kabbalion, Hermes. Hermes, thrice great. 7 is going to be a number you want to fool around with. All I ever have makes more and more sense to me. What Bob was singing about. All I ever have. You have all is all. The all, the spirit. Let's see here. I'm not going to get into this at all. You can read it yourself. I took a lot of notes. I will. Let's see here. Is Google Docs? Yes. All right. So I will throw this into the chat for you guys. When you're ready, you can read it. When you're not ready, you won't read it. You can only lead the horses to the water. You cannot make them drink. Okay. This is going to be shorter due to the fact that the last time I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go for an hour. 3 hours later. That's me all the time. See, and that's what you can't be in your documents. You got to be shorter in your documents. Okay, so let's just go dive directly into and there's some good stuff. Obviously, you're going to see some interesting things in there. All right, that's open. That's not what I'm looking for, though. What I'm looking for is, that's Chrome. That's why. I have to use Chrome because for the email. Other than that, I've quit using Chrome. All right, so here we are in went all the way to V. Verba. So I'm at 2,529 is the number of maxims, or is the number of maxim that I'm on. I can't remember what the total is, but it's I'm on page 325 out of 359. So we're at the end here. All right. So again, maxims. Why maxims? Because you want to use maxims because maxims will make you understand the law, will make you understand our Constitution, will make you understand the codes and statutes. You'll get a better idea of what's going on. Just doing the maxims. And then go back to and then what I have over here is like odious. Just go type in odious to the search engine. What maxims have the word odious in it? What maxims have the word derogate in it? Let's see here. What's 1748 and 1966? I wrote those down so you can easily find them. And then you'll see here that I was just fooling around with the alphabet. Just get used to associating the letter with the number, right? H-I, 8, 9, J, 10, K, 11. Q, as you know, is 17. X is 24. Y, 25. Z, that's supposed to be a Z, is 27. I cut off part of it. Etc. Just knowing all of them, right? That E is the 5th one. G is the 7th one. G7. P is 16, etc. And then see if you could do that. If you memorize it, then you can go backwards 26, 20. Because I can count backwards easily without looking at it. 25, 26, 24, 23. But you can't go Z, Y, X, V, etc. W, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Can't do that because and for a lot of that sounds strange to you because you've never done it backwards. But see, we don't even know our alphabet backwards and forwards. We only know it forwards. There's a clue. All right, so let's go over here to these maxims and knock out a few more of them. Like I said, your homework, study those and the 300 words that I put out and more Hermetica. Right? So I gave you that link right there that's in the thing. And then there's this. And then there's this. And there's more. more. Here is the knowledge of the ancients. Okay. Let's begin with some of these guys. Wet my whistle here. That's tea. That's mate, shilajit, honey, and some other stuff that I saved the bag and then I threw the bag away. But anyway, that monk fruit, great stuff. And it's sugar kills. We were talking about this the other day. Sugar absolutely kills. Bad teeth, sugar. Loss of hair, sugar. Pancreatitis, sugar. Kidney and liver disease, sugar. Excess fat, sugar. It's always sugar. Comes back to sugar. And they paid scientists to say, oh, no, it's not the sugar, it's the fat. No, it wasn't the fat. You need the fat. No fat, no cholesterol, no hormones. Simple. And no hormones, no testosterone. There's a chain there. All right, 25, 29. Oh, and let's put that back in there one more time. Here is the library from Kirk. Let's put that in there. If you can't find it. All right, so then what am I going to read from? I'm going to read from a collection of maxims. So, and I'm see my Latin so poor, I'm not even going to try it. Anyway, plain truths need not be proved. Words are to be interpreted according to subject matter. Words are to be taken so that they may have some effect. So these are all verbas, right? They all start with verba. Words equivocal and those in a doubtful sense are to be taken in the more worthy and effective sense. Words ought to have some effect. They should be so interpreted as to give them some effect. Terms of art should be explained from the art. Terms of art, they say, instead of words of art. But anyway, terms of art should be explained from the art. Words should be regarded, not the speaker. Words should be regarded, not the speaker. The words of deeds are to be taken most strongly against the person offering them. Words are to be taken with effect. See, over and over again. The words current money refer to the time of payment. The words current money refer to the time of payment. Words spoken of the person are to be understood of the condition of the person. General words are to be understood generally. I'm appearing specially, not generally, Your Honor. General words should be restricted to the capacity of the thing or the aptitude of the person. Words cannot excuse a homicide. Sticks and stones may break my bones, right? So, I mean, if somebody provokes you with words and you kill them, you won't be able to say that, oh, he said mean things to me, so I killed him. No, it's not going to fly in any court of law anywhere. Words are just words. You should have spoke words back. Words cannot excuse a homicide. Words referred to are considered to be incorporated. Words referred to are considered to be incorporated. Words on a different subject are to be understood by what precedes, not by what follows. Words are to be understood in a possible case. Words should wait upon the intention, not on the reverse. Words should wait upon the intention, not the reverse. In other words, words are to be so understood that the subject matter may rather be preserved than destroyed. When words are merely equivocal, if they have common usage of speech, they acquire a certain meaning. Such meaning is to be preferred. It is better that words should have no operation than to operate absurdly. Words are not to be looked at so much as the cause and nature of the thing, since the intention of the contracting parties may appear from these rather than from the words. Words may not be opposed, nay, they may be receded from altogether, in order that words may be restored to a sound meaning.
And transformation.
Uh-oh.
The process of what we call mental alchemy,
Uh-oh.
spiritual alchemy, is that we can learn to.
Oh my goodness! All this stuff's going on at once. Help! Stop it! All right, and I got that. I'm making a video. I'll call you back.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. All right. Where was I before I was so rudely interrupted with so many sounds? Oh my goodness. Okay. Where else was? Where were there? Words. There you go. When words of an ordinance can be made true in their true signification, they ought to be drawn from a foreign intendment. What? Not from, to. Okay, wait a minute. Back up. That's 2552. When the words of an ordinance can be made true in their true signification, they ought not to be drawn to a foreign intendment. Intendment. What does intendment mean? INTENDMENT. I'm serious. This book is increasing my vocabulary. I've had to look up quite a few words. And I suggest you do the same. Don't just gloss over it. Go find the dictionary. Go type it into Google. Go do something. Subsequent words added for a purpose of certainty are to be referred to preceding words with which require certainty. What? Subsequent words added for the purpose of certainty are to be referred to preceding words which require certainty. Preceding words which require certainty. Okay, words ought to be received most favorably to the thing and the subject matter. Words which can have any effect should not be treated as surplusage. 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 I love it. Like I said, go look them up. And see, because I don't see that word very often and I don't hear that word very often, I see it on the page and I got to figure out SUR, sir, PLUS. Okay, so surplus, AG, surplusage. Look it up in etymology. What's SUR? You know what that is. PLUS, what's that? And age. Okay, when they start turning into multiple syllables, look up each syllable using etymology. And then you get to know the meaning of the words. And then, like I said, these right here, this is where it all comes down from. These, oops, and this. Then you get to silly things like the Virginia Declaration of Rights, which is based on what I'm reading you. Our Constitution, which is based on what I'm reading you and reflects all of these. You need to understand what the words are, what they mean, how to read them, how to use them, and then how to get these things going and, put them to paper and figure out how to work this thing. And then who to send the words to. Okay. Oops, I'm over here. Words, however general, are restrained to fitness, though they may admit no other restriction. Words to which reference is made in an instrument have the same effect and operation as if they were inserted in the clause referring to them. I'm pretty precise here. There is no one who does not know that words are to be understood according to the subject matter. That's basically a Nemo right there. And look, it has the word Nemo in it. And that's the other thing I was going to say. Go find and just type into the search engine right here, this thing. Type in, so you're going to find all the Nemos I read to you, but then there's other Nemos out there. You'll find more Nemos. Finding Nemo. Just a coincidence. Anyway, there are no, let's see here. Wait. Words are always to be taken in their milder sense. Interesting. Words are always to be taken in their milder sense. That's 2559. Words of a narrow signification may be extended to a wide meaning if reason require. Where there is no ambiguity, words stand as written. The imperfect tense of the verb indicates an incomplete matter. Like I said, getting pretty precise here. A verdict is, as it were, the saying of the truth, as the judgment is the saying of the law. The truth of the description removes the error of the name. Truth is, I can't even, is that an English word? Truth is desideratum in a juror. Desideratum in a juror. All right, Desideraratum. I didn't look that one up. I must have skipped over it. But anyway, truth is desideratum in a juror, justice and judgment in a judge. Truth fears nothing but concealment. Oh, we're down to, all right. By too much altercation, truth is lost. The truth of the name removes the error of the description. Oh, that's just like the other one. Truth which is not sufficiently defended is oppressed. He who does not speak the truth freely is a traitor to the truth. The old way is the safe way. The beaten way is the safest. A deputy cannot have a deputy. Now I just got, right? Okay. Neighbors are presumed to know the acts done in the neighborhood. You will see those things frequently committed that are frequently vindicated. All right, skip that. Let's move over to this other one. Oh, nope. That was the one. Okay. Let's see here. The laws serve the vigilant and not those who sleep. And then what's the equity that goes along with that, right? Oh, shoot. I don't have them open. But there's an equity one that says, it doesn't help those who sleep on their rights. It is lawful to repel force by force, but let it be done with the moderation of blameless defense, not to take revenge, but to repel injury. You have a right to defend yourself. But I mean, once you've made it so that your enemy or the other cannot harm you anymore, you should stop, right? You knock the guy unconscious. You shouldn't beat his unconscious body. Violent presumption is sometimes foolproof. That is a viperous exposition which corrodes the bowels of the text. Okay. Husband and wife are regarded in law as one person. Husband and wife are regarded in law as one person. And that's why you can't have your wife testify against you and you can't have your husband testify against the wife because they're considered one thing. Oh, and I was going to go over that a little bit about the one thing. I've been listening to some Manly P. Hall. I've been listening to, I read this whole book. And first I put it on an audiobook and I put it on when I went to sleep. And then this morning I got up and read it again. I actually read it on the book. All right. So I've talked about this before, the 7 Hermetic principles. Mentalism, all is mind. The universe is mental. And right now, our nation is mental. Anyway, but it's all here. Correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. Gender is creation, generation, regeneration. And see, the whole point of the Hermetica and understanding Hermes and the Hermes thrice great, Trimen Gentis, is transmutation, and all things are transmuted by mind. Okay. And I had a fun time. I'm going to read that again, actually. I've listened to it once. I fell asleep while I was listening to it. I read it again, and I'm going to read it one more time because that book is thick with information. And that's just the beginning of it. Let's see here. It gains strength by continuance. Let's see here. Force is inimical to the laws. Clerical errors ought not to prejudice. It is fault that ought to be avoided, that if you cannot discover the reason, you should presently exclaim that the law is without reason. Scarcely any law can be made which is beneficial to all, but if it benefit the majority, it is useful. Right? Because somebody's going to be. Anyway, terms of art should be explained according to the definitions of the learned in that art. An injury is not done to the willing. That's why when they use, well, actually, we're not even going to go there either because that's disgusting. But I mean, that's the maxim that's at play when people say, "Oh, you can't be right. Equity will not aid a volunteer. Injury is not done to the willing. He willed but did not say. The will of the doer manifestly expressed in his deed is a gift to be observed. The will and the purpose distinguish the crimes. The will of the testator gives validity. All right, let's start over again. The will of the testator gives validity to what is written in the will, or testator, but testator. The offenses of the will, not the consequence, is to be regarded. The will is to be taken for the deed. The will of the testator is ambulatory until death. The will of a testator, wait a minute, the will of a testator is ambulatory until death. Ambulatory. The will of the testator is a broad and benignant interpretation. Words spoken vanish, words written remain. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Okay. Warrants. A warrantor may accept that the complainant does not hold the land of which he seeks the warranty, and the gift was insufficient. And that the gift was insufficient. What did I just read? A warrantor may accept that the complainant. I'm just looking at it. Is it complainant? Complainant. My slave education is showing right now. A warrantor may accept that the complainant. See, because it's not compliant, and it's what my brain wants to do. It wants to say compliant, but it's not compliant. It's complainant. The warrantor may accept that the complainant does not hold. I would assume that's the person. See, I'm making some assumptions. I should probably go look this one up. I haven't read these, obviously. A warrantor may accept that the complainant does not hold the land of which he seeks the warranty, and that the gift was insufficient. What a man cannot transfer, he cannot bind by articles. When an agreement is reduced to writing, all previous treaties are resolved into that. When many join in one act, the law says that it is the act of him who could best do it, and all things should be done by him who has the best skill. When no time is limited, the law appoints the most convenient. When the common law and statute law concur, the common law is to be preferred. There you go. What's to be preferred? Even when they concur, the common law is still to be preferred. When the common law and the statute law concur, the common law is to be preferred. So I would learn the common law, not the statutes. Just saying. Thousands and thousands and thousands of rules, regulations, and statutes. You can't learn them all. All the states, all the federal, 50 U.S. titles. There's no way you can get through all that statute and code. Just Title 26 is crazy. So learn the contract law, learn some trust law, learn these. This is already bad enough. I'm up to 2508. When the law presumes the affirmative, the negative is to be proved. Oh, wait, I skipped ahead though, because that's the bottom of the page. 2603. When many join in one act, the law says it is the act of him who could best do it, and things should be done by him who has the best skill. 2604. right? So I mean, that's actually, oops, we are at the end. There you go. Um, there are 2613. Wife cannot devise to her husband. Interesting. Wife cannot be produced as there. I was just talking about this. Wife cannot be produced a witness for or against her husband, for they are two souls in one flesh. So they can't testify for you and they can't testify against you. Where two rights concur, the more ancient shall be preferred. Where there is equity, the law must prevail. When two titles concur, the best is preferred. When law presumes the affirmative, the negative is to be proved. I just read that. When the law gives anything, it gives remedy for the same. When the foundation falls, all falls. When no time is limited, the law appoints the most convenient. When the common law and statute law concur, the common law is to be preferred. All right, there you go. There, so it ends at 2613. So there's 2,613 of these maxims that you should know. And then maybe you want to, I mean, well, and when I say no, just be familiar. There's some are more important than others, and you'll see that many of them relate to other maxims. Right? These are not 2,608 different maxims. These are maxims over the same theme, over laws, nemos, no one can, everyone shall, all will, etc. Yeah, I'm going to skip all those. All right, spend some time on this is what I'm trying to get you to do, because this will help. I'm telling you, this will help a lot, a whole lot. The idea that you can know all this stuff in a day, it's going to take a long time to start learning this stuff and study all the other stuff that goes along with it. And then there is, the maxims, the equity maxims, the nemos, the nihils, right? The omnis, right? Okay, so you get to know these things, and it will make you fierce, right? Because the idea is put the armor on, and then what's the best defense? Good offense. Well, most of us can't do offense right now because we don't have standing, we haven't made the claim, we haven't written the documents, we haven't seasoned stuff up. You don't know what to say, you don't know who to say it to. But as you watch these videos, and me and other people were kind of sort of trying to let you know what to say and who to say it to and how to say it. But you got to put it in your own words. If you want somebody to write you a template, stay a slave. It shows you're lazy. Let's talk about this just briefly. I really want to go over these, but I'm not there yet. I need to spend a lot more time on the 7 Hermetic Principles. And I've been studying Hermes and Thoth and the wisdom that's contained therein that seems to be pretty ancient wisdom going back to Egypt, and God knows how far it goes back there in Egypt. But it's worth your time to study some of this stuff. And calm is the superpower. We've been talking about this. Calm is the superpower. It allows you to get away from this, because there's this thing called rhythm, and then there's frequency and vibration and correspondence. But see that's a pendulum. I'm making it do its thing, right? Okay, the pendulum swings. If it swings that way, it's going to swing back the other way. If it's right, so you can see. Oops, get the thing on the screen. There you go. All right, now that I screwed up the swing. But you can see that if it swings that way, it's going to swing back. So there is that saying, the pendulum swings, right? So by generation. As far as we've gone this way, we're going to come back the other way. This is the law. And these guys have decided that, through black magic and their worship of the Satan and their blood sacrifices and the crazy, insane, disgusting shit that they do, that somehow they're going to stop time, or somehow they're going to quit. They're going to stay in Pisces, even though we've moved into Aquarius. That somehow the 7 Hermetic Principles can all be. And you see them working at it, right? Right now they're working on gender is one of the hardest ones they're working on, but they're trying to corrupt the 7 Hermetic Principles, and they can't. They can't do it. They can lie, and they can make sheep into slaves. Oh, That's what I was going to read. Do I have that open? Let's just read that. And I'll just read that one little thing. Oh, come on. Really, you're not going to do it? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You froze. All right. So this comes from the. Can we not? Can we just start at the beginning? All right. We'll start at page 1. There you go. Now, put in this. I was going to read you this one passage. And then let's talk a little bit about current events, and then let's quit. I've made 3 videos in 3 days. This is obviously not working. Anytime you'd like to work, that'd be great. All right, for some reason it's not working. All right, so I won't share that because whatever reason this search engine has decided to stop. It's Brave too, so what the hell? Or maybe just I'm not typing the right. So what happens when I do that? I know that word's there. All right, yes, it's everywhere. All right, so what? I know the word's there. No results in this book. That can't be. All right, well, I'll get it to you another time. Dear, I'm not obviously wasn't prepared to share that. All right, so let's just talk about the fact that your masters, some of the masters, our masters, are evil bastards, trying to get rid of the population and have affected their minds. And the quote I was going to read is how they managed to get around, how they got so many to be so sheepy. And it's you got to understand their mindset. And okay, I am born in the year of the dragon. I am born in the year of the wood dragon. Wood dragons are the most reasonable of the dragons. We will compromise when it is to our advantage. The other dragons will not compromise, even when it is to the wood dragons. There's metal dragons, there's fire dragons. This is Chinese astrology. Metal, wood, earth, and fire. Earth dragons, oh, hugely stubborn. Fire dragons, well, you know. See, but the wood dragon, I have some acquaintances who are fire dragons, and they can breathe fire on me all day long, and it doesn't bother me because the wood dragon, we are made of the wood that, yeah, it burns but is not consumed. So you can breathe fire on me all day long, doesn't phase me at all. That's my friends, right? And then be careful because I can breathe fire right back. All right. Some of these guys have this scorched earth idea that they were going to, okay, if they can't have it, they can't rule over you and they can't have you and you're waking up and stuff like that. Fuck it. They're going to burn the whole thing down and then rule over the ashes. So they wanted to rule over the ashes. I get that concept completely. Most people can't get that concept that they would destroy the thing rather than let somebody else have it. Murder the woman rather than have another man take her. Fucked up thinking, by the way. I love her so much. What is that? That's Carmen. That's the play Carmen that puts that right. He couldn't stand to have her be with another man. But the idea being is that, yeah, that's the way your some of these evil worshippers of the Satan and Lucifer look at it, is like this is their planet. They own all of us on it. And if we don't want to be ruled by them, then fuck it, they'll kill all of us rather than set us free. Because if they can't own it and they can't have it, then none of us can. That is a fucked up mindset, and one you need to understand, because that's what you're up against. Again, they're never going to go when you do your seasoning of your letters and so forth. And oh, you caught us, and now we're going to. Here's your passport. Here's your right. Oh, here, have some money. No, none of that's going to happen. They might stand silent, but they're never going to admit that they fucked you. even though it becomes painfully obvious that, yeah, that was unlawful conversion. The whole system is based on fraud, ab initio. They are absolutely fraudulent, lying, scheming, disgusting, degenerate, Caligula class bastards that are not deserving of your respect whatsoever. And yet, many of you still respect these idiots when they open their mouths. They would have killed you. They would have put us in camps. They would have burned the whole thing to the ground. They would have relished it if they could have got North Korea to get a nuclear war started between China and the United States, or Russia and China, or Russia, China, and the United States, or whoever. If they could get Pakistan to set off a few nukes, if they, whatever, right? Because, that's utter devastation and the ability to literally vaporize babies. And nothing would make them happier. You don't operate like that. You don't think like that. You don't, right? Okay. I don't condone it, but I completely understand the concept of, if you can't have it, if I can't have it, nobody can have it. I get it. So you would need to be very careful when dealing with that kind of mindset and that kind of psychology, because, yeah, at any time they could burn the thing down, and that's what they're trying to prevent. They're also understand. Your documents need 90 days to season. So do Trump's. So do Hillary's. So do everybody else's. You need to understand that things don't just happen quickly and easily. You need to, right? You can't just say, okay, well, I discovered all this stuff about the birth certificate stuff, so now I'm free. If you did everything perfectly, and I'm not sure you could, but even if you did do everything perfectly, it'd be at least 90 days before you got out, whatever that out means. So understand the concept that it takes a while for these things to happen, and everything happens according to its season and time. Understand that today, Happy New Year, is New Year's Eve. For those of us that use a slightly different sky clock than the one you guys use, the 21st is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is New Year's Day. So today might be a good day not to drink, not to invite demons, but to set pen to paper and write down some of your intentions. Financial intentions. Just, if you never took a course in goal setting, maybe you ought to, but just, what are your goals for the year? You can't, what is it in the maxims? You can't beat the plan without a plan, or I can't remember what, but you got to have a plan. Don't greet the day without a map. So even if it's just a general map, but I plan on having a passport that reflects the fact that I'm a man this year. I plan on having state IDs that reflect the fact that I'm a man. I plan on not being in this insane place that I am, where everybody wears a mask, and if you don't wear a mask, they get crazy. There was a woman here that was trying to just have her shop and just open her shop, and she wasn't wearing a mask, and everybody called the cops on her. I can't wait, because all of those police calls, by the way, you fucks need to understand that with enough money, there are people that will dox you. There are people that can hack into pretty much any database and get the recordings and get the phone numbers of those people that, not that any of us would ever do that, but get the phone numbers of the people that called to snitch. And what happens to snitches? Is there a saying? Is there a maxim about that perhaps you've heard? Snitches get what? Do they get happy thoughts and beers? Do they get pizza? Do they get, what do they get? I think you know what they get. And they're gonna. And that's not Trump that's gonna do that. That's it. You guys seem to be waiting. Well, I don't know about you guys again, but there seem to be people that are just sitting back waiting for Trump to do everything. Trump's going to save us. And if Trump doesn't save us, then Jesus will. Got news. got some bad news, and then I got some worse news. It's on you. You want out? Nobody gets you out. I'm not doing your paperwork for you. I can't do a push-up for you. I can't make you go to the gym to get healthy. I can't make you read the Hermetica. I can't make you do anything. And see, apparently there are governors and mayors that think they can make you put a mask on before you can exercise your rights. And some of you have decided, okay, I'll put the mask on. Some of us won't do it. And see, there are other states that I can move to where it's not even an issue. I don't have to get into an argument. I don't have to anything. I don't have to put a plague doctor mask on to make fun of them. Although that's been working out great because I do. I put the plague doctor mask on. The only time I ever put the mask on so far, one funeral and Costco. That's it. And overall, I don't go to any of the other stores here. I don't hardly ever give them any patronage. I just had a really good 2 weeks ago. I had a really freaking great week in the market. Everything I touched turned to gold. Usually, then on a Friday, I would go out and buy myself a fat steak dinner someplace. Have them right. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean, and get to look at pretty waitresses because on Maui, a lot of our restaurants, the women are hot. It's just one word for it. So you get a good-looking woman to bring you food and drinks, and then you sign the thing, and you're out of there. No dishes, no nothing. Nope, not doing it because now they want me to wear a mask. They want me to wear a mask from the hostess down to the table, and then everybody else in the room that's eating and so forth, they're not wearing. I mean, it's fucking painfully ridiculous. What do the maxims say about illogic? Right? I read them to you if you're missing it. But the idea being is that, this silliness can't be law. It just can't. So it can be statute. It can be rules and codes, which is not law, but it's not law. So if you want to go along with it, that's up to you. But there's that meme going around, right? If you can pretend that Biden didn't cheat and you can pretend that, women are men and men are women, that Mike is a woman, and you can pretend that, then you can pretend I'm wearing a mask. I slaughtered that because brevity is the essence of wit, but you understand that, right? Okay, so they're all into pretending the president. I've heard it called the pretendency, which is amusing. And you know that it won't be long before Our Lady of Grace kicks the doddering fool who can't be prosecuted because he's mentally incompetent. That's the story they're going to tell you, and everybody's going along with it. It's a fucking show. And I've been told by other sources and other conspiracy theorists that it's pretty much already foregone conclusion. Pretty much everything's already happened. They're just putting a show on for the rest of us. And the reason, and we're going to suffer mightily before the thing is over because certain people, and we call those people Democrats, but also a lot of Republicans, make no mistake. This is the best thing, is that the Democrats figured out that that it wasn't just the Republicans, it was some Democrats too. And the Republicans also figured out that it wasn't just Democrats, it was some Republicans too, because it's one team. It's the Wigmores, Democrat and Republican, both getting together to fuck you, to extract as much wealth from you as possible. Not telling you about your birth certificates and the 75-year bond. Not telling you that they're a private corporation. Not telling you the difference between 1871 and 1776. Not telling you anything. Keeping you ignorant and stupid so that they can extract wealth from you. And you bow down when you get one of them offers from, that enforces their policy to, they've written you contracts that you signed, or maybe you didn't sign. But a lot of people I've seen and heard on here, they will offer you that contract and they'll tell you you don't have to sign it because they've been beat up badly in court here. Because they don't know who they're fucking with half the time. And there are a lot of, we'll call them woke, wealthy people, people with a lot of money that have taken some of these police officers to task. And so they've learned not to try to intimidate you. Meantime, I'm here on the internets and other places where you won't sign the ticket, they'll freaking beat you over the head or pound you or whatever, or try to, coerce you or threaten you or take you to jail or whatever, just because you won't sign the document. Really? Oh, you should have their badge the next day. They should be looking for work the next day, but you don't know how to sue their bonds. So you got to learn how to sue their bonds. You got to learn how to write those warrants, and you got to learn that you don't start off with the warrants. The stuff that I gave you the other day. No, you start off with a notice, and give them a chance to adjust, or give them a chance to correct, or give them a chance to, right? Because you're going to do this in a superior fashion. You're going to be the superior man. He who dishonors first loses. So you're going to give them every opportunity not to dishonor you, but they're going to. And one of the ways you can dishonor is with silence, but your silence agrees. Right? So I'm about to send out a bunch of notices of dishonor. By the way, I sent you this 30 days ago. I'm going to send it to you again, but I sent this to you 30 days ago. You didn't answer. They're not going to answer again. And they're not going to answer again. And then I done told them 3 times. And then my obligation is done. Now, come and mess with me. I told you thrice that I would sue your bonds. I told you thrice that I'm a man and that you cannot jurisdiction me, right? You can't talk to me. You can't say shit to me. Right? I'm not in your jurisdiction. And oh, that was the thing. When I was reading the jurisdictions yesterday, make that a notice. Put the court case, like one, it's just one of those cases. Just put that as a notice. Notice, and then another page. Notice, and that's all it's got on it. Or you might notice with one of the maxims, and then the court case that reflects that maxim, and that proves your point that they don't have jurisdiction, or that proves their point, whatever the point it is that you're trying to prove, this stare decisis, or excuse me, the res judicata, that why you're putting it in there. Don't put it in your documents. Put it as an attachment, as a notice. Notice them that you have noticed this. What am I talking about? All right, let's pick one. Let's see here. Pick one quick. Let's see here. There, perfect. Here's a Miranda, right? Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. Miranda v. Arizona. All right, notice. Put that as a notice. The claim and exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. Put that as a notice. Notice, and then just that, and that's the only thing on the page. So you give them some notices. When it comes to, I mean, this is great. This is just a great collection. And this guy, I would trust pretty much every one of these, but still go back and find Thompson v. Smith and read it. The right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and transport his property thereon, either by horse-drawn carriage or by automobile, is not a mere privilege which a city can prohibit or permit at will, but a common right, and the right is capitalized, which he has under the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Notice, right? And then put that underneath it. And then you have a couple of right to travel things there. So maybe you want to put a notice and you want to put maybe 2 or 3 sites, but better one site at a time. Right? And you add, and so in your document, you're right. Please, with due care, read the attachments or read my notices or take notice of the notices that I attach to this document, or some words to that effect, right? Keep it short and sweet. And so your document, and I've shown you them several times and I put them away already. Anyway, but your document, your handwritten document, and then you type it out. So you'll send them 2, you'll send them one that's handwritten and one that they can read. In my case, some of you have really nice writing. I'm not one of them. So I put the printed version there for them. And then in that, it's going to be a 1-page or short document. And then attached to that are going to be notices that you say, hey, look at this law. Hey, look at this. Hey, look, res judicata that says that supports everything in the document that they're attached to. Let's see here. Let's read a couple of these just since I'm here. Let's see here. Personal liberty, or the right to employment of life, and liberty, is one of the fundamental or natural rights, which has been protected by its inclusion as a guarantee in the various constitutions, which is not derived from nor dependent on the U.S. Constitution. It is one of the most sacred and valuable rights, remember the words of Justice Tolman, as sacred to the right to property, and is regarded as inalienable, right? But not unalienable, inalienable. Let's see here. I'm reading from that, from his treatise on the brief support and notice for dismissal for lack of jurisdiction. So again, and you might just, the other thing you could do, you want to get crazy, is put this whole thing as an attachment. I wouldn't, but you could. Please see the attached. This is 21 pages. So yeah, try to keep it briefer than that. But you can take a lot of stuff out of these 21 pages and make them notices that you can attach to your documents. Just you do what you want. But just remember, brevity is the essence of wit. And just remember that brevity is, it's better to, don't try to confuse them with bullshit. Just short letter to the IRS. I'm non-decedent. My MFR, my individual master file should read MFR01. I have no evidence that I'm the same as these names. I am the authorized representative. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Here are some claims or declarations, and keep those brief. You have a right to adjust these. I give you 30 days to respond. 30 days later, hey, you never respond. Here they are again. And you might write another letter that has some other stuff in there. In addition to this stuff, there's this stuff. You didn't respond to that, and here's this. Okay. Or better than that is just the same thing 3 times. Keep it brief. 1 page. Hey, I'm not dead. Right? The beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean. Captain Jack comes walking in as they were trying to administer his estate for him. Notice. I watched, you know what, I watched some TV recently, on YouTube TV. I watched the Addams Family. There's notice in there. They give us notice via those devices, via the big screen, via the little screen. They give us notice. It's not just about mind control. It's not just about, it is, but it isn't. There's also notice in there. If you listen to Hip to Be Square with new ears, I put it in my video before. You would Lewis in the News, with his little red shirt on with the, you may notice that that was the design of the shirt. G, the squares, right? And that's basically that right there. But anyway, the idea being is that it's all around you in our music. It's all around you in our TV. It's all around you in the movies. Some movies more than others. Some movies really are just mindless entertainment to waste your time or to make you more violent. Or, I mean, there's always an agenda in there. But overall, well, okay, I won't say overall, but there are many movies that are noticed. They are noticing us using drama. And then same thing, like, did you see the South Park, that last episode? Well, the thing with the comedians and you gotta watch the boule, but the thing with the comedians and the thing with the jesters is they're allowed to speak truth. As long as they're in jest, as long as they're right. So you don't think that Simpsons, and then some people started taking a look at it. Wait, Simpsons seems to have some stuff in there. You go back and watch some of the videos. They seem to foretell the future sometimes even. South Park, absolutely, right? Hard hitting, all right? And they're allowed. They're not censored yet because they're allowed to speak the truth, because the jester was the one person in the court that could speak the truth, as long as he was in jest, as long as it was considered to be, he's just fooling. Okay. Look, short. We up on an hour and I'm done. It's only because I did 3 hours yesterday and 3 hours the day before that. So anyway, this one's shorter. I admonish you to please go and go through those maxims. Keep the main thing. So there is your foundation. Upon the maxims, that common law, let's just call it the common law. And then on top of that is the constitutions and so forth, and declarations of rights and so on that come back to all of these maxims and maxims in equity. And then, because like the Constitution, as we've said numerous times, many people think that the Constitution gives you rights. It doesn't. It secures your rights. It secures these maxims. It secures the common law, the fundamental law. That's the word I was looking for. Not just common, but fundamental law. Fundamental, bottom, right? The foundation of it. And then on top of that, codes and statutes and regulations and so forth that apply to certain classes of people, which you may or may not be a part. What person is this? Is this a legal fiction, or is this the actual living man that you're talking about? And they're always talking about the fictions. And up until quite recently, we were all confused. I don't know about you, but I was thinking that my living person and that legal fiction were the same thing, but I can find no evidence that they're the same. Now, prove me wrong by sending letters to your offers and asking them. You might have your children do this. I saw this crazy guy on the internet, and he says that you're not the same as your name. Am I the same as my name? Anyway, but write a letter. Like I said, my son, my oldest boy, asking, just finding the Department of Motor Vehicles and asking, "Hey, do I need a license to travel?" She's going to say no. I know she is. Don't ask questions that you don't know the answers to, by the way. But there are sometimes when I have to ask a question when it comes to, say, Crouton Ramon, who is a living individual who is considered to be of consent. What did he consent to? Because I should know that, being that I'm his authorized representative. I'd like to know what Crouton Ramon consented to, because I honestly don't know. I've been trying to figure it out. I looked through I don't know. So I'm going to go ask. The other thing, instead of being afraid, just correct the record. So many people are afraid. Just go correct the record. Just go, look, you got me down as dead. I'm not dead. Hey, you got me down as this all caps name. That's not my name. Hey, you think you own that name? I do. First in line. I'm first. Hey, excuse me, this was unlawful conversion. Hey, I didn't know that this thing was all right. So now that you know, what are you going to do about it? Well, you got to inform people. Like I said, in every nation, there's somebody that's responsible for your passports, a minister or somebody, some bureaucrat someplace. You got to find out who it is. Somebody's in charge of your law enforcement. That would be, in our system, it's the Attorney General. And then there's the sheriff, and then there's sheriff, and then there's the chief of police, all of whom I'm going to send a copy of. Right, I decided what the hell. It costs I think it's going to cost me like $7 to make a few copies of the treatise on arrest and false imprisonment, and just let them know that, hey, I know this, and I'm going to hold you to account if you violate. Not hard. Not threatening them. Just saying, hey, notice. Said it to them 3 times. Told you once, told you twice, told you 3 times. They won't let you in the courts. They don't want you there. Right? Because what I've figured out is that a state of, those all caps, state of Hawaii, that's a private corporation. It is not and we've been through this. Let's keep it brief, though. I showed you that. So again, there it is. Oh, geez, can you see? State of Hawaii. Well. That's a private corporation. They need to have, and see, if you look in my notes, if you could. Oh, I should read that, but I'm not. Let's not read that. Let's not read that. Because see, I've gone through all of this. You go back and look over some of the things that I've done. But in here someplace, I noticed it was on the back of one of the forms. There you go. This form right here. Use this form right here to go find out if they have a Form 990. See, you're looking for the Form 990 that they're supposed to file when they write those bonds. And if they don't have one, see, and I put it in there. I mean, just look what I did. Look what I did. This is one I didn't send in, but I mean, this obviously. But I got their DUNS number. I got the fact that the Judiciary Courts of the State of Hawaii is a private corporation. There's their address and so forth. And I just asked, hey, are these guys legit? And you know what the IRS said? We got no record. And I showed you that. And I let the courts know that, okay. So then you might say, the IRS doesn't have a record of this. Can you send me your Form 990s? Can you show me that you are a legitimate tax-exempt government entity? Not-for-profit, tax-exempt, not-for-profit government entity. Those are the things I couldn't remember yesterday. And I think there's one more in there. But anyway, not-for-profit, tax-exempt government entity. Is that you? Why, no, it's not. But look, you know that, but you're going to give them an opportunity to try and say that they, right? Because he who affirms is the one. If you're saying that you are a tax-exempt government entity, and you're de jure, and that it's just in a kangaroo court under the cover of law, and you're not a private corporation and so forth, well, then just write me a letter and let me know. Right? Just like with the IRS, I just told them, if I owe the tax, show me how I owe the tax, show me the law that says I owe the tax, and I will pay the tax. I never once said I won't pay the tax. I never once said no. Right? How many ways to respond? Conditional acceptance. Right? Conditional acceptance. Understand that one concept of the conditional acceptance. Holy cow, you guys are going to town over here again. I'm easily distracted. You remember that, right? Oh, it is. It's going on and on. Wow, lots of different people here this time. Nothing. I own Theta. That's it. Focus, people. Focus. Well, I own Bitcoin briefly until I turn it into Theta, and then T Fuel. So I guess I own 2, and then I guess there's gonna be one more because you can stake your T Fuel and get. Okay, anyway, but let's see. Yep, they are. They're making things look terrible to wake people up. Yes, fear is the mind killer. I like it. Yeah. Well, get down there and go make some noise because you got yeah, Fiji. Holy crap. That's about as corrupt as it gets, kids. Yeah, there you go. The word was stitches. Let's see here. Industrial Revolution. Yep. Oh, Justin's here. Yes, I think so. Yes, we are. We absolutely are. They came and offered us at the same time. The colonists came in the 1800s and converted these happy people that were self-sufficient into. They colonized it. Simple. See, like the Hawaiians. Do you think that the Hawaiians could have some political power if there were still 800,000 of them left? There used to be 400,000 of them on this one island alone. Now, I think in the whole state, there's like 6,000 pureblood Hawaiians. And most Hawaiians don't live in Hawaii, but they have no political power. And so, do you see what they do? They genocide you. They kill you off. They give you smallpox or other. We didn't. It's not our fault that you didn't have immunity to these diseases that we gave you. And then you get wiped out. And then now they're homeless in their own land. Well, same thing is coming for Fiji. They're going to try. Right? I mean, I'm watching them do it in other places, Tonga and Samoa and so forth. And who's selling you out? Look at who's selling these out. Look who's letting these people vaccinate the children. Use the word again. But I mean, the Hawaiians would have a much bigger say, and I don't think things would be the way they are right here if there were still 800,000 of them. So they had to kill you off first. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. That's the saying. The missionaries came to do good and wound up doing very, very well. But the idea is once you can get out of this, you can get above where you are offered. Now, that doesn't make you beyond the law because you are still bound to be on your square. You don't get to disturb the peace. You don't get to harm others. You don't get to cause other people loss. You don't get to have mischief in your contracts because you're a living man. In fact, even more if you're a living man, you stay on your square. And when they try to pull you off your square, you don't get pulled off your square. But see, what they've done is because all of it, it's all fraud. It's fraud in contract. They're causing you harm. They're causing you loss. They have mischief in their contracts, right? They're disturbing your peace. So equity says you get remedy. Must be given a remedy. They don't have to. The guys that are fucking with you don't have to tell you what the remedy is. I don't know why you think. Go read your maxims. I mean, I don't know why you think that they're the ones that have. Since they're the ones that are fucking you, they're the ones that have to give you the remedy. What? That's crazy talk. Think about it for a second, logically. They don't have to give you a remedy. There must be a remedy, but they don't have to be the ones that give it to you. You got to take your own remedy. You got to discover your own remedy and then claim it. And the primary remedy is the fact that you are a living man or woman, man with a womb. See, and even then with gender, right? What are they trying to do? Trying to screw that up. that there's more than two here on this planet. No, there's men and there's men with wombs. That's it. You either have a womb or you don't. There's a deciding factor. And that's it. Never mind ovaries, never mind testicles, never mind penises, never mind vaginas. You either have a womb or you don't. If you don't have a womb, that would make you a man. If you have a womb, that would make you a womb man. That's it. Are you a living womb man or a dead womb man? And see, what I'm saying right here will make quote unquote liberals, leftists, socialists, idiots, their heads will explode. Their blue haired heads. And see, I've gotten to the point where the whole thing has become enjoyable. It used to make me angry. Now I just laugh. I was just having this conversation with my girlfriend, wherein the lizards are starving now with me because I'm laughing. Even when I'm on the internet, because I tend to use the word fucking a lot, and fucktard and fucktardian, coupled with loser or Democrat. But anyway, and see, I'm laughing. I'm not angry. And they all think because I said fuck, he must be angry. No, and how presumptuous and pretentious of them to think that their stupid little post on Facebook could make me angry, could change my state. I'm a happy guy. I mean, see, but on Facebook, don't tell anybody, I'm broke and nobody want me. You should see my girlfriend. I can't believe she's my girlfriend. Most people that see my girlfriend look at my girlfriend and go, how the fuck you did that? I'm like, I don't know. I got lucky, I guess. Because she's been a cover girl. She's a hottie from way back. Okay, but and the other part, I'm broke. Right? I got people saying, you need money? I don't need money. I mean, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it because see, that tells me that I am giving you guys, I like money and I will use it to do other things, but I mean, you don't just, $5 a month or $10 a month or even just $1 a month. Yeah. And then I use it for stuff. But the idea is that I don't need it particularly. Like I never once tried to use these platforms to line my pockets because I saw this from way back that's what they'd do, that they'd get you dependent on the income and then they pull out the rug. How many people got kicked off of this thing, right? And we got to hold these guys to account. Whoa, do we have to hold these guys to account? All the big tech companies, all the guys that are doing the modern day book burning by just deleting it or putting it on page 500 in the search or whatever, right? Okay, we got to hold these guys to account. We got to hold these guys to account. It's not just naughty. It's not just, a couple of slaps. I mean, like there are some people that are going to have to pay, right? And most of you don't have the gumption for that. But the fact that they have, we have become so lax that they have just decided that they can get away with anything. And we've let them get away with anything. So the whole point of this whole thing is so that you have some tools in your tool chest to armor yourself up. And then you decide, do you just want to armor yourself up and that's fine, by the way, one less for them, right? You're just quit feeding the beast. Do you want to go on the offensive? Well, then here's some other stuff to go on the offensive. Learning how to write warrants and learning how to give notice and learning how to, get standing so that you can go to court and accuse international. Well, because your state court, like state of Hawaii, would I go into a state of Hawaii court in that private corporation? Why would I? The de jure court, on the other hand, an Article 3 court. Now I might get some traction. And am I going to complain to the local sheriffs? No, I'm going to complain to U.S. Marshals. Because calling the cops, as you can tell, isn't going to do much. Because, and this is the thing, they're in on it, and most of the guys on the front line driving the cars, they don't know they're in on it. They don't even know. They're trying to do a job. They're trying to get drugs off the street. They're trying to make it so that homeboy doesn't beat on his wife. They're trying to make it so, right? They're trying to make it so that you don't speed past the school and kill a child. They don't know what they're part of, for the most part. And see, they can do all those things and still be part of the offers that are, I'm being oppressed. Help, I'm being oppressed. Is it a Rothschild that's oppressing me? Or is it one of my friends that decided that they would join the police force? Right? The Rothschilds aren't guarding the prisons. The Rothschilds didn't write. I mean, well, okay, yes, they did, because it was them that put some of those codes and so forth in there so they could extract wealth from you. The better to extract wealth from you, the better to make money for themselves. But the idea being is that overall, DuPonts and Rothschilds and Carnegies and Rockefellers are not guarding our prisons. They're not driving the police cars. They're not, right? We are. And that's the other thing. The more the 100th monkey effect, the more people that know a thing, the more people that know a thing. The more of you that do this, it gets easier and easier because now you can find people that can help. In the past, 99.9% of the people that quote unquote got out disappear. You never hear from them again. And you might happen to notice the difference in passport, or you might happen to notice the difference in the reaction the police give them when they hand their license over or their identification over. See, and the more people that do it, the more people that do it. Simple as that. It's just how it works. See, we got to the point where we didn't know any better. Like those children that are being raped, they didn't know that they weren't supposed to be being raped. They didn't know that at 5 years old there wasn't supposed to be a man putting their penis in them because they don't know any better. So no, they don't ask for help. No, they don't complain. No, they don't try to, right? Because they don't know any better. They're innocent children. Even more, we should kill these people, right? Not put them in jail, kill them, right? Simple as that. And laugh while we do it. Right? You fool, you thought you were going to get away with this. And then pray for them because, like I said, the pendulum swings, right? And how are they going to fix that? I mean, it's going to take lifetimes and lifetimes just to get back to square one. So feel bad for them, right? That's how you pray for your enemies, because you know that hell is coming for them, literally. Like, you don't have to do nothing. We can kill them, and that's just the beginning of their punishment. That's not the end of it. That just gets rid of them so we don't have to deal with them anymore, right? And again, read the maxims. You're not killing them to punish them for what they did. It's so they can't do more in the future, right? One pedophile, usually 200. So if you get him when he's only done 5 or 6, you stop the other 196 or 194 or whatever the fuck it is. Right? You're not killing him to punish him for what he did. You're making it so he can't do it anymore. And we know these guys are repeat offenders. Every fucking time they get out, they do more. So cut it the fuck out. Right? This holier than thou. We don't have the right. Yes, we do. You have the right to protect your children. Anyway. Anyway, the point being is that things are changing and you got to be part of the change, right? You got to lead by example. I'm not just telling you to write letters. I'm writing letters. I'll let you know how it goes. If they come to my door and drag me off, you'll find that out too. But that's not going to happen because, see, that's the fear that they give you. Because all I'm doing is correcting the record, right? I'm not trying to get away with anything. And see, once I correct the record, yeah, now I'm not liable for that tax. Right? Again, 20 years ago, I figured this out, but I didn't take it. I took the ball down to the 1, right? But I didn't put it in the end zone. Now I'm putting it in the end zone. But again, they haven't bothered me in 20 years now. This year makes 20 years. If they haven't done it in 20, I don't expect they're going to. Now, even more now, right? Because I guarantee you in the last 5 years, I've gained more knowledge than I did in the last 20 combined. Because I've set my life up so that I work a couple of days a week, literally. And then the other day, like when was the last time I actually taught a math class? Friday. I taught for 1 hour. Right? But usually I do Monday and Wednesday. I pile them all up on Monday and Wednesday. Tuesday used to be my reading day. I used to have 1 day of reading. Now I have Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And a lot of times on Thursday, I'll go work for somebody. I don't know. I was swinging a chainsaw the other day, which I enjoy doing. See, I like chainsawing stuff. I enjoy playing with those power tools. And so does my son. And I'm teaching him how to use a chainsaw without killing himself because I told him, you don't get it. There's no second chance with that thing. You happen to tap your leg with your chainsaw, that's going to be a gash, and we're going to have to stop work for the day. And I'm going to have to learn hopefully I'll be able to use my first aid suturing skills. But if it's too bad, we will have to roll down to some place where they can actually sew you up. And anyway, so I'm not joking. I keep a tourniquet in my car at the moment, right? Tourniquets and guns, you never need them, but when you need them bad and you need them fast. I don't expect I'm going to need the tourniquet, but better to have it than not have it, right? Just because he's a 16-year-old and shit can happen. Now, I don't expect shit to happen because if you're safe and so forth, right? But see, and that's the thing. Some of you guys are so scared to use a chainsaw that you won't, all right? I mean, that's the easiest, fastest way to get things done. But just because, yeah, you can cut your leg off or cut a finger off or God knows what you can do with that. Like I said, I've seen guys, I've never had an accident and all the time I've been using chainsaws and I used to lumberjack doing cavi and so forth. But there are people that I know, I won't mention any names, you know them, they're afraid of chainsaws. They're afraid of the chainsaw. Okay, so they don't ever use a chainsaw. Okay, same thing. They're afraid of this knowledge and that they'll get in trouble using the knowledge. Well, if you do it wrong, yeah. If you use the chainsaw wrong, yeah. But don't use it incorrectly, and it can be, make a day's work where you like. If I was going to use a hacksaw or a a regular handsaw or even a two-man saw, it takes so much longer than just put some gas in this thing and zzz, and it's done, right? Or multiple cuts. All right, same thing with this documents and paperwork, right? If you do it correctly, it will cut to the chase quickly. Fewest words possible. Send it to the right people. Say the right things to the right people using this thing, and yeah, you should be good. If nothing else, the money you get to keep, right? When it came to stimulus checks, do you think I asked for a stimulus check? In fact, I just had that piece of paper because they sent one to my girlfriend at this address or at my depository, and I said, "Do you want to get some money from the government because they're offering you that was the other stimulus?" And she's like, "No," right? Except no benefits, because all their benefits come with obligations. Okay, so the point being is get your paperwork done and you can help. And the more people that get their paperwork done, the more people that will get their paperwork done. And you can just, casually mention when you're crossing a border or when you're, oh yeah, it's because I did this and this. And you sit next to somebody on a plane or something, or in a coffee shop or at a truck stop. Well, that doesn't happen so much anymore. But I mean, I used to travel this country from one end to the other, driving around in my car, and had interesting conversations with interesting. Travel was the most educational thing I ever did. Had interesting conversations, especially because most of the time I was by myself, and you'll see other people that are alone and eating at a diner on the bar. So you sit down next to them and you might strike up a conversation. And I've had some very interesting conversations that came about by chance. Anyway, and so you might mention, oh yeah, a little bit about the birth certificate, or a little bit, or just maybe put a little information on the card. Hey, you might want to read this information. Hey, nice talking to you. Here's something for you. Just spread the word casually. You can only and most of them, they do not have ears to hear and they do not have eyes to see. And in the Hermetica, it's like they tell you that 9 out of 10 aren't ready for this, right? So don't try to force the other 9. Find that one. And then don't worry about it if you can't find the one and you run into the other 9, right? It shouldn't piss you off. It shouldn't make you sad. Just understand that is the, and so that was a quote I was going to try and read you, but I can't find it because I thought the word cheap was there, but it won't show up. So anyway, but the idea is that these people are through no fault of their own, technically, because they've done all the things that they were supposed to do. Their parents filled out the birth certificate. The parents stuck them into public school the way they were supposed to, right? Compulsory education for up to the time they were 18, filled their head full of all kinds of bullshit and beliefs and belief systems. And then they cemented those belief systems from 18 to 25 with college, put more beliefs that like I said, the original history is pretty far away from the history we learned in school or what actually happened, right? Your current events are shit. Your news is shit. Your history is also shit. But we learned all that shit in school and we made beliefs out of that. And then we made more beliefs, and now their beliefs are literally killing them because they believe in authority. They believe that these guys have their best interest at heart. They believe that they would never harm their children. They believe these things. It's not true, but they believe it. So now they are willing to take the jab. And they can't believe it when there are so many. I mean, more people that have done. I can see on Facebook now and Tumblr and what the hell's the other one? Instagram. I hardly ever do Instagram or Tumblr, and I do Facebook, but mostly I just shit post. I don't scroll so much anymore, except for on Crouton Ramon, because Crouton Ramon, I have some interesting people, but the other one, my actual name. Oh my God, my friends are such fucking idiots. I can't go on. I can't even go on because that does actually change my state to the point where I actually start getting a little upset because these people are so fucking stupid. It's beyond my ability to understand. These are my friends. These are people I know. I know their children. I know their dogs. I've been to their house. I know what kind of food they like. I know what kind of beer I should bring. And I know these people. Right? It's not like the other one. Crouton Ramon, I don't know any of these people. I've never met them. I've never seen them. Never been to their house. I don't know what their children. I don't know if they have children. I don't know if they have pets. I don't know what their pets' names are. I give a fuck, right? We're just shit posting and having a good time. But on the other end, oh my God, I am amazed at how my friends allowed themselves to be mind washed, and they can't get out of it. And I can't get them out of it. Neither can you. They got to wake up on their own. You can put some shit in front of them, but you can't make them read it. And see, I actually pretty much stopped going on Gab because sometimes I scroll on Gab because of the people I know on Gab. I get assaulted with images that bring up. I mean, see, I'm like about to throw up in my mouth already. Just think about it. Oh, give me a second, because fuck, like I said, it's. I'm working on it. It's not as bad. See, it's already passed. But I mean, those images come up because one image leads to another image, and another image leads to another image. And I'll tell you what, these sick fucks are sick fucks, and some of those sicker images or hints of them are showing up on Gab. And I swear to fucking God, Gab should have some kind of warning over it that if you want to click it and see it, you can, like the way they do it on Facebook. But on Gab, see, it's free speech, so they just post shit. And I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, the shit that Hunter's done, and the shit that, I mean, there is evidence, and it's not fucking Photoshop. Anyway, those images, children, horrifying images of abuse and anyway, they exist. It's not Photoshop. A lot of that's going to come out, and there's video on top of everything else. Right? I watched like about 15 seconds of one video, and I was like, all right, enough, fucking enough. Okay, this shit's happening. Good. All right, I already knew this. I don't need to cement it in. Again, stand fast at the doors of your mind and guard against whatsoever you let therein. You will be traumatized. You will not be able to sleep. You will not be able to eat. So don't bother. Just know that this shit is going on, and let's put an end to it. How do we put an end to it? All of us. You don't wait for the Jesus. You don't wait for Donnie. You don't wait for fucking, I don't care, the Calvary come. And no, do it yourself. Get your paperwork in. Right? So that you can stand up and accuse if need be. And worst case scenario, you don't feed these guys anymore. Simple. Be of good cheer. Like I have to laugh. I'm gotten to the point where I just and my girlfriend gets upset with me because she has people that are very, very dear to her that will probably wind up getting the jabs. And it just makes me laugh. You should have learned some math. It's simple as that. You learn some math, you wouldn't ever do this. Should have learned some chemistry. Mercury in the system, not good. Read the ingredients. Oop, I almost said it again. Read the ingredients in those things, and you will realize that you don't want any of that in you. I mean, not at all. The only injections I take are like I have a very specific B12 that is injectable that doesn't have mercury in it. Yeah, that covers it. B12 once in a while. But none of this, it's going to protect me from this or that. I've got an immune system that works just fine. I don't need your help, thanks. Especially when I look up the word pharmacology and I realize where the etymology of that word comes from. You're making poison. I don't need your poison, thanks. Because there is, it's true that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So taking a little bit of poison, and I've read stories, and I've actually met a person that in Texas that was bit by rattlesnakes. And the first rattlesnake actually, and just like he just had a slew of rattlesnake bites, the first one almost killed him. The second one almost killed him, but it wasn't as bad. The third one, it was bad, but it didn't almost kill him. The fourth one, I'm like, how many fucking rattlesnakes you been bit by? The fourth rattlesnake, he barely know. The fifth rattle, I think he up to like 7 or 8, because like a couple of times after that, it made the mark, and obviously the venom went in there. But like he's basically immune at this point. I can think of some other people that would bee sting, same thing. But okay, so there is that philosophy of that thinking that, oh, we can put the poison in and it'll make them strong. But how about you just don't put the poison in the first place? And how about you do the opposite and build your immune system, build your immunities, build your immune response, do the things, right? With many of the things I've talked about. I've got DMSO over there. Go do some research on that thing. Find out about CBD and THC on top of that, full extract, not just the right? Fine. But I mean, fine. If you can't get the psychotropic kind that has THC in it, cannabis plant itself, just the hemp, is also hugely beneficial and medicinal. Not a pharmacology, not from the pharmacopoeia, but an actual medicine, right? Because the alchemists don't make you medicine. Anyway, we were supposed to quit 25 minutes ago. I quit. All right, so thanks for all your comments. Yeah, I think so. I agree with you. It doesn't seem that you should put the Rona in you. I think you're fine. And the people that have, there's still all kinds of crazy conspiracy theory about that, where if they actually change your DNA and they genetically modify you, can they patent you? Can they claim you? I don't know what the plan is. I think the plan is just to kill us off. Again, I think the plan is just to get rid of it so we don't have grandchildren. The plan is just to make it so that we don't breed, because we could outbreed them easily. I read somewhere where it was like in 2020 worldwide, there were like 10 million abortions performed on this planet. 10 million women chose not to let 10 million souls come on to the earth. Do some math at how many that turns out not to be, right? Because that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make it so that we don't outbreed them, so that we don't. Anyway, I'm trying to claim that if we don't make them money, we're useless eaters, because they claim this planet as their own, instead of understanding that this little playground here is for 100% for your spiritual, 100% for your spiritual advancement. That's it. And you will advance, one way or another. It will be how many lifetimes it takes. You're here forever. You're never not going to be here. Eons and eons. And guess what? I was in the Hermetica. It talks about how we're about 5, if the scale is 7. And that there are some 4s with us, obviously, and we're being ruled by the 4s. And then, but there are also 6s and 7s. And then the scale starts over again, and we could call that 8, or we could call that 1, right? Just like middle C, you come back to C, right? Okay, same principle. But the idea being is that there are creatures, entities that have far exceeded all of that. We would call them supermen or overmen, even. And there are others that haven't gotten as far as we have. But the whole thing, it's an infinite universe, and you will progress. The Mormons have that in their book about how you will progress and progress and progress until you get your own planet, until you become, on and on. It's what's in Hermetica is basically the idea that it is never-ending advancement, and you can take 7 steps forward and 2 steps back. You're still at 5 because you took 7 steps, and then you take 7 more steps forward and 1 step back. There are some people, they don't take a step back. They just continuously continue and advance and advance. But the idea here is the whole thing is for advancement. This whole thing is not to enrich the few. It's not to enrich the long. So, oh shit. Okay, 2 things, and then we quit. 129, because I found the picture that I want to show you, and then I didn't bring it over here. Where is it? It's not here. I shall return. Okay. Okay. Anytime. And slow. Boom. Boom. All right. We'll start with this. Okay. And I don't know. Oh, shit. It doesn't look good because of the light. Can I make that? Yeah, too much reflection. Oh, there we go. All right. There's a meme. There's a Mason meme. Notice there's three, and those three are one. That's one thing. They're not puking up stuff for them to drink. That's, that's not right. Okay, I kind of get it, but I don't get it enough to explain it to you. But see the picture. That picture tells 1,000 words. Where are they? What's the thing? Oh, look at the symbols in the corner. Oh, look, he's drinking. What's he drinking? Oh, look, there's three of them. Oh, anyway. Let's take a good look at that. Can you see the long skull there? Does that head look right to you? They are among us, and I can show you some pictures of Rothschilds. But overall, see, I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm telling you, that is. Do you see what you're looking at? And I believe you can find that. That's the Prime Minister of Ghana. And if you look at that carefully, I don't know if it's coming through. It kind of looks like they glued his face on. But anyway, the point being is, they're among us. They like us, but they're not like us. They look like us, but they don't have a lot of the things that we have. And one of the things that we have that they don't have, apparently, is the ability to discern those emotions. And this is another thing you need to understand, is that many of your friends came to those beliefs and came to their ideas and the things that they're doing now, not through logic and reasoning, but through emotion. So if you try to logic and reason with people that are scared because they decided to put this thing on because they're afraid, that's an emotion. They didn't do it because, oh, well, I'm going to do that because it will protect me from, if they could do any kind of logic and reasoning. So don't try to logic and reason with somebody who is in fear or in emotion or making decisions based on emotions. Right? And that's almost every leftist liberal, but that's a lot of Republicans too. But a lot of liberals, right? They get all they understand the media, and these guys understand the concept. Oops, get away. That they can rule you with emotion. Right? Oh, they're racist. Oh, they're fascists. Oh, they're whatever it is. Oh, they're misogynists. Oh, they're whatever, right? But they and what do? They speak their emotions. They don't use logic and reasoning, no rational, right? And this is why I put that first link there. Go take a look at that first link and read it when you're ready. And there's also a book. I should probably get the book. You can get the. Do I have it here? Have it open? Why, yes, I do. Hold on a second. I'll put that in there too. Let's clear that. And here's some good Sunday reading, or maybe for next weekend. He said not being able to find his mouse. There it is. All right. Let's put it over there. Yeah, I'll put for you. Okay, now it should work. Yeah, all right. And then, so that's just the Kabbalion. That's where I took all these notes. And like I said, I didn't even cover it, but just go through it. I've listened to it. I've read it. I'm going to listen to it again. It is thick with information. Thick. So you need to spend some time. And just reading it once isn't going to cover it. But understanding transmutation is not presumptuous denial. Transmutation, not, oh, there you go. Transmutation, not presumptuous denial, is the weapon of the master. See, and what you're going to do, and what I'm trying to do, is transmute all of those negative emotions using thought into more positive emotions so the lizards starve, because the idea is starve them, starve them, starve them. You don't have to fight them, just starve them. Just like the Russians, right? The peasants, they weren't picking up guns and fighting, but they were making sure that when the Germans came through, there was nothing to eat. They'd burn their fields. They'll kill their own cows. They'd, right? I mean, and just remove from the area so that when the Germans got there, there was nothing for them to do so that they could continue to prosecute their war. Right? I mean, you go back and read. I mean, the Russians fucking took a serious beating, but they basically retreated, rebuilt, and then came back and were horrifying to the Germans. To this day, I know Russians and Germans that hate each other. I don't know if you remember the Gerstners, but I mean, right? Mrs. Gerstner used to tell me stories, horrifying stories, because she was a little girl in Germany when it was all going down. And her husband, when they came to conscript him into the Hitler Youth, he got into the basement, climbed out the window, and they never did find him, and he never did get conscripted. But the idea being is that what's going on there is what's going on here. What happened in Russia is what's going on here. Gulag Archipelago tells you exactly. Oh, I just stole it back already. No, I didn't. Here it is. All right. Read this bear, and then you'll see exactly the same thing going on now, just using medical tyranny. But the idea is that you can make it so that you're not a part of it. If you can't fight it, if you can't, right, then just don't feed them. Quit giving them dollars. Quit giving them part of your income. Lawfully, legally, without getting into any trouble. Because there's another thing, and I see this all over the internets now. They love it. I'm not paying my tax because I don't like Joe Biden. Okay, good. You're going to jail. That ain't no reason to not pay tax. I'm not paying my tax because I don't believe in the Iraq war. You're going to jail. I'm not paying my tax. No, you're not paying your tax because you don't owe the fucking tax. You're not paying a tax because that statute applies to a certain class of people of which you are not part. It's not positive law. It is exactly not positive law. Title 26. It's a special. It applies to a certain class of people of which you are not part. So you might want to do that when you and like certainly applies to the decedent. It certainly applies to those that don't have MFR01 in their master file. It certainly applies to those of you who think and have sworn you are U.S. persons. It certainly applies to those of you that think that you have income, even though you couldn't define it. And then what do they do with that money? Well, one, they modulate and regulate the currency, and then they use that to rig markets and rig bonds and rig silver and gold and rig the whole fucking thing. And then they line their pockets nicely in the Vatican and in the city of London. And the Queen gets some of that. I mean, they just love it, you ignorant slaves. You pay for all of it. They put the little thing on your head so that when you get out of high school and college that you know that you are responsible for keeping this social edifice together. You are the builders. But see, you don't know what you're building because they've kept you ignorant. All right, enough. For real. Probably won't be a while before you see me again because there aren't enough hours in the day to study everything I want to study. That's for damn sure. And read everything I want to read. But when I get more stuff read and when I get more stuff written, and if I get anything back, and if I have any more fun adventures with certain officials, I'll let you know. But otherwise, you got more than enough stuff here. And some of you newcomers, I appreciate you guys telling your friends, hey, you got to go take a look at this guy. He's a crazy person. I am, but crazy like a fox. And what you want to do is be crazy like a fox too. Get your paperwork in there. It's not conspiracy theory. All you got to do is correct your record, claim your estate. You already are a man. They just don't know it. You're not dead. They just don't know it. So you got to let them know. You don't consent to any of this shit, but you haven't told them that you don't consent. And then you have to not just say, I don't consent. Here's why. Here's the law. Here's the fundamental law. Here's the fact that you're a corporation and I'm not. Here's you have one handy. Let's see if I can find one handy here. See, look. One pager. Right? Just one page. Wrote it the wrong way though. Look, it's in cursive. So I'm not going to use the cursive. And then look, I had a friend do proof of service. What did I give them? All right, not this. See whatever one of these envelopes has good stuff in it. Not that, not that. Should have had, oh. Here be the green cards that are starting to come back, right? So you can't say you didn't get them because I gave them to you. Not that. Ooh, love it. Not that. I should put some stuff in this file though. All right, let's see if I can find it. Oh crap. Oh no. Oh yes, here it is. Oh no, it isn't. That's a different one, and they got hit when they tried to get cute with me, and they have, of course, not responded. Now let's see here. Answer. See, we have received your request. Organization, Judiciary Courts of the State of Hawaii. Forms 990, 990T, 990PF, 5227. Tax years for the period 17, 18, 19. I just went back 3 years. We received your request for these copies. Or for this evidence. Now, let's see, I got that and that. Oh no, it's not here. Those are not the forms I want. These are not the droids I'm looking for. All right, so hold on a second. Well, then it must be in one of the green folders over here. Now, see, that's the other thing. You can't be a pud when you do this. You're going to need to buy file folders, and you're going to need to get organized, which, ask anybody, is not my strong suit. But now I've learned to put stuff in folders, and I've gotten better. Oh, there you go. So here is the document. There you go. Found it. Boom. So here is the document, a request for public inspection, copy of exempt political organizations IRS form. That's the 4506A. And then what I got back from them was, notice how nothing's in a box. Notice how it's in here. And it says, Dear Sir or Madam, because they don't know, we're responding to your request dated February 18, 2020, about the tax-exempt status of the Judiciary Courts of the State of Hawaii. We have no record of this organization having tax-exempt status under the Internal Revenue Code section 501A. Therefore, we're unable to provide any documents in response to your request. So you might send, right, you can't use my documents. So you got to send in that and get this letter back. And then you might send this to the courts and say, hey, I got this letter from the IRS and I don't understand. It says that they don't have any record of you being a tax-exempt non-government or tax-exempt, having tax-exempt status. Look, look, it's signed and everything. Somebody said so. Could you give me your Form 990s? Because they can't seem to find your Form 990s. So, right? And this is the form you can use. I faxed this in, and then I followed it up with a letter. And then, sure enough, a couple weeks later, comes back this letter that says, "Nah, we got no record." All right, so now you send this to the actual court and say, you guys aren't de jure, are you? You're a private corporation, aren't you? You're not going to say that. What you're going to say is, hey, show me your Form 990s. Correct me if I'm wrong. Get how this works? You think the courts want to see me? You think they're going to send armed men and beat me down with a billy? Are they going to just fucking stay the fuck away from that guy because he can take your bonds? Jig's up. He knows. Right? Do you think they're going to put me in the county jail where I'll sit there and go, hey, you know, there's this form that you can send in to find out if they're a tax-exempt government agency, and here's some stuff you can do, and hey, guess what? You're a living man, and they don't have jurisdiction over you, and blah, blah, blah. Anybody want to listen to me? I wouldn't be sitting in jail, though. There was one, I'm not that hardcore, but there was one where they're like, go do an arrestable offense and see if you can get your ass out with one of these. Could you get yourself out of jail with a piece of paper and a pen? I don't know if I could or not, but there's a hell of a test right there to see, do you know your shit or not? My thing is, rather than do that, how about you just head them off at the pass? How about you put your stuff in 90 days from now? You've proven they're not a government, a de jure government thing. They're acting under color of law. They're violating all kinds of other laws. They're writing their own rules and codes. They're violating their own oaths of office, right? Again, I am no longer conspiracy theorist. This is conspiracy fact. I got the documents. I found my bonds. I wrote the IRS. I've sent this stuff in. I've tried to discover, right? I've done my diligence. I'm not just shooting from the fucking hip here. Okay, you can do same. Do same intelligently, though. Don't do stuff that'll fuck you up and put you in jail. Don't jeopardize your liberty. But correcting the record doesn't jeopardize your liberty. Asking if they've got a tax exempt status doesn't jeopardize your liberty. Again, when I walked into that courtroom and I asked them directly if they were a tax exempt government, see, I wrote it down and I practiced several times when I walked in there because a lot of times you're nervous. I'm not nervous anymore, right? Last 2 times I was in court, I wasn't. I didn't have I had butterflies, like the excitement of I can't wait. I wasn't like, oh no, I might be in trouble. I was more like, oh man, I can't wait. Fucking just open your mouth, judge, right? And then I thought ahead of time. I did some meditation. What can I do to make them hang themselves on the record? And sure as fuck, these people are not smart. They hung themselves on the record over and over again. And when they figured out what I'd done, they wouldn't let me. They changed the judge, just like changed the dealer when we play blackjack, and they wouldn't let me in the courtroom. Okay, so do I continue? Do I let bygones be bygones, or do I press? I think I'm gonna press. I've pretty much decided I'm gonna press. All right, but the idea being is that I got the documents. Why are these folders green instead of manila? I've covered that. Everything, the form, the process, the style, all of it. You got to start to understand this stuff. Again, you want to learn trust law, not so that you can set up trust, but so that you can get out from under them. So you understand what they're doing to you when you walk into that courtroom, because what you're doing is they have the triangle in that courtroom. You just don't know it. And they've tried to convert you from beneficiary to trustee. Right? They tried to swap places with you. Anyway, the point being, guys, is you just need to sit down, eat this elephant one bite at a time, and you will find that there is not a damn thing they can do against law. But you have to be full of law. And you have to be able to speak law, jurisdiction. And you have to know what the words mean. And then you need some etymology. And then there are plenty of other people that are talking about how to fill out warrants and stuff like that. But you need to understand that process. Notice, start with notice. You got to give them notice first. No ambushes. That's not fair. I mean, all's fair in love and war, but I mean, don't ambush them. Don't cause controversy. Just stay on your square. And they can't touch you. Oh, they'll try to touch you and they'll try to drag you off your square, but just stay on your square. Get the information. Get the documents you need. Right? Your defense. And then once you got your defense up and once you got that stuff and your documents are seasoned, then you can go on the offense. But a lot of you guys just want to go like the freaking Picts, buck naked with a big ass sword, which will get their attention. But they might just put a crossbow bolt through your heart, and that's that. But if you had some good armor on, and then the crossbow bolt skips off, and you can get down there and hack at them with your thing. And like I said, just think about it in this. Like I said, this right here, so much more powerful than this right here. But even if you want to kill him dead, it's not pap. Maybe you got him, maybe you didn't. It's not pap pap. That's better. It's pap pap. Right? Boom, boom, boom. 3 of them. So three times. It's always 3. Click your heels 3 times, Dorothy. Not once, not twice. And the same thing in court. I can say for a fact, didn't hear me the first time, didn't hear me the second time, third time they changed the subject. Right? They wouldn't respond, but after 3 times, right? So yeah, you got to tell them 3 times. And what is Hermes? Hermes tried, right? Not once great, not twice great, but trimegentus. The thrice great. 3. 369. Boils down to that. Tesla tried to tell you. Oh, and the rest of the story, speaking of that, with Tesla. So it was John Trump, the MIT PhD mathematics guy, that got his things. And who was one of the guys that he put in charge of looking through all his documents? Oh, it was a Bush. It was one of the Bushes. It was, I can't remember the guy's name, Bush. Go take a look at that story, though. Who cleaned out, and John Trump, and there's all kind of conspiracy theory and bullshit in the internets. But one more time, Trump is enemy of your enemy, but not your friend. I didn't vote for him either time because I can't. Because I'm not a U.S. person. I'm not part of that corporation. But at the same time, he isn't. He's the enemy of your enemy. And I would absolutely pick Trump over Biden any day. But I mean, what shit would you do? You want the shit flavored sandwich, or would you prefer the shit flavored sandwich? Oh, I like the shit flavored sandwich. Thank you. No, I don't want a shit sandwich. Thank you. They're both shit sandwiches. One of them has a really good looking wife, and the other girl's not actually too shabby. They make fun of her, but I mean, Melania is just her own fucking thing. That's crazy. But anyway, the bottom line is, it's not based on how good looking their wives are. But the idea is that neither one of them your friend. One of them less your friend than the other. One of them works for the cats. One of them is enemy of those cats. But he would still fuck you. And again, does Trump know everything that I just have been spewing out about for the last, 60 hours here on this channel? Yes, he does. Is he telling you? No, he isn't. That should be your clue. Do you still have to take your shoes off at the airport? Clue. He was there for 4 years. Maybe you don't want to get this and then walk through the thing that at the airports. Like, I'm getting concerned because I'm hearing some crazy conspiracy theories, and at this point, I wouldn't put any of it past them. And the fact that they have given us so damn many zombie movies, I'm hoping that that's just allegory and notice and fun stuff. But it could be actual notice that, yeah, we're going to turn a bunch of you into fucking mindless zombies using various things, technologies that we don't understand, and get them to the point. Okay, here's some crazy conspiracy theory. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just saying, right? I'm just repeating some conjecture. Let's go for a mind exercise here. Let's say they give you the jab. We know the jab screws with your DNA, and it's an RNA. And anyway, and calling it by the name that we call these other things is not what it is. It is technology, and it's like they're putting software in you. They've even admitted it. Okay, how are they going to get that software to respond? Because if you just feed software into computer, there's got to be something that activates, right? An executing file. And a lot of times you can't execute it if the file's corrupted, or you can't. Okay, well, anyway, the point being is, what if the execution is in 5G? What if the execution is in the airport scanners? What if the execution, they put that in? See, and this is the thing, because they know that compound poison, we're not in it, right? So they understand that I take this poison, it doesn't kill me, right? I take this poison with the antidote, and it doesn't kill me. I give you this poison, and it doesn't kill you either. But then I give you this poison, and it reacts with that other poison that's in you, and now you're sick. And then I give you the third poison, and yeah, now it kills you. But you can't figure out that I did it three different times, because you don't think that the three things are related, when actually it's one thing. It's one poison. This is a topic for another conversation and video. But the idea being that sometimes it's one thing, but you think it's three different things or multiple things. So first they give you the jab, then they expose you to electromagnetic radiation that activates the nanoparticles. I don't know. It's plausible. I don't know if it's possible, but certainly it's plausible. And then you get 100 million of these guys liquored up, and then you activate the thing, and then their thoughts are not their thoughts. Right? They're being programmed from elsewhere. Kill grandma, kill grandma, kill grandma. I don't know, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the idea that it's like MK Ultra on steroids on a mass scale, not just one or two shooters. I don't know, but something to think about, and possible. Like I said, I don't know if it's plausible, but it's possible. Okay, anything over here I should take a look at? Yeah, okay, because I keep saying I'm going to quit, and then I don't quit. Look, we're on 2 hours. For sure I quit now. All right, and like I said, I'm not going to be back for a while. Chew over all this stuff. I gave you 300 words. I've given you Crook's Lock Corner. Start reading. especially the Virginia Declaration of Rights. Also, the Constitution might be good. Parliamentary practice, maybe that's late. Mason's Manual of Legislative Procedure, good to have, but maybe a treatise on arrest and false imprisonment, must read. Law of Nations, must read. Some facts about law, probably pretty good. That's probably a pretty good one to read. And then the collection of legal maxims. I'd spend the most time there. And then download the dictionaries. Bouvier's is here. Black's Law is here. The commentaries on the laws, that's actually not so bad. The advisory reports that Trump put out, President's Advisory 1776 Commission, that's where we're going. It's very clear that they're going to restore the Republic. You can't be a member of the Republic being broke and ignorant. If you don't know the Constitution and the fundamental rights that you have, you can't have them. If you don't understand the Virginia Declaration of Rights and why it's important, and if you don't understand these legal maxims, what kind of citizen are you going to be? Right? We want educated, informed, useful members of the Republic, not stupid fucking broke dick sheep that do what they're told. And that's what we got. Okay, Crime Stoppers, e pluribus unum, get out there, right? Be of good cheer. It should make you laugh. This whole thing should start, it's just gotten to the point where it's absurd and ridiculous. And yeah, I know, right? But before it comes to this, and hopefully it never comes to this one more time, pen mightier than sword. It's not just a thing, it's the truth. You know the truth when you hear it. So exhaust all before it comes down to stepping off your square and doing harm to others to get your way. Right? And you can see, let them do harm to themselves. So educate yourself, educate those who will listen, and most of them won't. As you know, 9 for 10. Don't be upset. That's the numbers. So don't try to change the numbers. Right? Join with those that you can. What do we got here? We got 12 here. We get like maybe 100 people that read these and or watch these and then send them off to other people and digest them and so forth. Okay, good enough. I don't need tens of thousands of followers. Tens of thousands of followers are not ready for most of this information. Fucking A, a lot of you guys aren't ready for this information, it seems. But the idea is e pluribus unum, together, right? We got to make the sovereign individuals as a group. That's where the power is. So more of us, not less of us. Okay, Crime Stoppers, e pluribus unum. Educate yourself, educate others. And I will talk to you probably next weekend. Might not be for a couple of weeks, but most likely next weekend. And Happy New Year. This is New Year's Eve. Make your resolutions. Right? There's magic when you write stuff down. So invoke that magic. I'm going to get this, this, and this done. Money's not going to be an issue for me anymore this day forward. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to learn a language, a new language. I'll figure out how to play guitar. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. This is the time to do it. Set those intentions and then make it happen. All right, Crime Stoppers. Talk to you soon.